Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another Alpha X program brought to you by Alpha X right here on trovo.live/AlphaXSC2. My name is Rushy, and I'm very excited to be here for day 2 of the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. We had so much fun yesterday, casting all sorts of great games from not only foreigners, but Koreans, Alpha X professionals, getting a chance to talk with Vindicta live as a guest caster, getting him to play with only nukes. I mean, it was a ton of fun. So much fun that we decided that we would have a second day here to bring you some more awesome casts here of StarCraft 2 action. Now, of course, we are doing all of this for a end goal to try and meet here. Of course, we are raising money for Games for Love, a 501c3 charitable organization dedicated to easing suffering, saving lives, and creating sustainable futures for children through video games. So we are so excited to be able to raise money for them. Of course, as you can see, our first day, we did a pretty good job. $360 raised for Games for Love. But we need your help to see if we can get the remaining $140 of our $500 goal. And I'm hoping in the next 3 hours or so that we can get that put together. I'm getting a notification that the system is shutting down in 30 minutes on EU. Well, that's inconvenient, isn't it? Hello, Sun Lily. Hello. Let's jump over to Korea. Just to see maybe if we can get a little bit better situation here. Of course, trying to find a server where we're not gonna get bumped due to updates, as all of these updates are coming down the pipe. But I think it looks as if we're gonna be okay. I just need to move all of this over here. Thanks so much, folks, for being patient. So glad that you guys are able to join. Oh, StarCraft is reloading itself. Love it. Absolutely love it. StarCraft, by the way, 10 years old today. How cool is that? I think that's it's a great milestone for our wonderful, beloved game. And we're so glad to be able to be a part of it here in 2020. But it looks like we are now set and ready to go. I have moved off of the European server. I am not going to have this cast interrupted here. Folks, as a part of this event here, I'm going to be casting some games from some pretty high quality players here. Of course, SOS and Innovation. We have a show match that we can cast of them. Of course, these are replays. So unfortunately, not casting it live, but still going to be some amazing games. And then we have some awesome matchups between Ragnarok and Hurricane and Bly and Euthermal. So some excellent stuff. And I'm hoping that these games will get you so psyched that we can kick in $140 more towards our goal of reaching $500 raised for Games for Love. Now, I can show you how to get to that point. And I'm going to do that here really quickly at the beginning of this game, but I will drop a link in the chat. Feel free to check that out as we get set and ready to go for our first series. It's going to be Innovation versus SOS. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Vindicta, jumping into the channel. Hello. We have so many awesome people here contributing as a part of this event, and I'm excited to bring this to you. We're doing it live today, chat. One more time. One more try. I think we got this. I believe. I believe in our ability to make this happen. Oh, wonderful. We've done it. Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get into our first game of the evening. I have my coffee. We have ourselves set up. We're ready to go. I will say that all of my settings are out of sorts. We've done it. We've done it, chat. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. It's our blue Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for innovation. And spawning in the top right. It is our red Protoss player playing for Generic Green Wings. Give it up for SOS. Okay. Well, this is a bit peculiar. Sending the probe over automatically at the beginning here. But of course, folks, this is all an opportunity to raise money for charity here. We are casting these games for Games for Love. Folks, the link that I just posted in the chat, you can click that donate link and contribute your own contribution here. We are looking for $140 to meet our $500 goal. If we can reach that tonight, that would be outstanding. Now, I will have to laugh because there's definitely people here that watched the charity stream yesterday. Of course, they'll be like, Rushy, I've heard all this before. Yes, I know. Me too. That's why it's so important for us to give it some thought. But we are going to have a bit of a, I hate to call it standard. I mean, it is a TVP. This is a pretty stereotypical opener. Racks expand off of our Terran player innovation. SOS going to grab that natural really quickly as well. Now the Reaper is going to be able to get on in and do some initial scouting. We're going to have to see how much damage it can get done here as well. Stalker already out. We'll be able to zone that back and away. We've got another sentry incoming as well. I mean, I feel like I almost need to have a white text box here. Just say SOS. Can you use impact, right? Yeah. That's a bit on the large side, don't you think? Yeah, we've done it. We'll adjust that in just a second here. But fortunately, nothing too major happening, at least at this point. We do have a Twilight Council down inside of the wall. It is going to be Blink Stalker. This is a pretty standard opening here against Terran. Those Blink Stalkers able to abuse this ridge, actually in a big way, to give them a little bit more of a offensive advantage here. Ooh, very good catch on the pylon. That is going to deny the scout from the Hellion. What has Innovation even seen? I mean, he really hasn't seen much beyond the initial opening here. So using his knowledge of what he can see at the front here to try and maneuver himself forward. And I feel like back behind this, Innovation is going to be trying to play a little bit more on the defensive side, going into the Liberator, grabbing a tank as well. But we do see a medevac coming as well. So this could get aggressive really quickly. I think it is very possible that we are going to see this escalate in a pretty significant way here. The bio is going to move out along with the remainder of this. And we do see an SCV going along as well, going to be useful in a couple of ways. not only to potentially build a bunker to better secure the bio, but also it will be able to offer repair to the siege tank. More than likely, we are going to see a big blink forward to try and get on top of the tank, and that is done. So now what is the unit count here? What's the unit count? There's 8 stalkers. Where are they? Oh, they were all back in the base. Oh, they were all dealing with the Liberator. The Liberator, the ultimate troll here. And Innovation's actually like almost nervous here. He's like, wait a minute, where's the army coming from? And it is coming from the bottom side. So Marines will be able to tank this down. Oh, that's a blink forward that those stalkers did not want to be a part of. So that's actually going to make things a little bit more challenging here. Now, Innovation does have his reinforcements cut off. So this becomes a bit of a tight situation for SOS to deal with. Now, there's the big blink forward here on top of the bunker, but the bunker is only filled with 4 Marines. The remainder up here into the main base. A quick warp in of those stalkers will be able to help deal with this in a short amount of time. Actually, 1 stalker does get picked off here. 4 workers getting killed as well. Oh no, the 1 Marine, no! Oh, reminds me of the Brood War mission where Kerrigan gets left behind. That was that Marine. Oh my gosh, the blood splatter's still there, guys. Are you kidding me? All right, so Innovation getting some really good damage here, picking off that 3rd base, forcing SOS down to the opposite side of the map here. But now SOS is going to be on the move. He's got tons of Blink Stalker. He's rather even on army supply as well. What does Innovation have back at home? He's got 3 tanks. He's got more than a handful of Marines. Oh, SOS. You were not supposed to lose the Warp Prism, my dude. Yeah, I mean, that almost takes all the teeth out of this push, because ideally you want those stalkers to be able to blink up to the high ground and force the fight in a different way, but now you can get those warp-ins as well with the Warp Prism. That did not go the way he planned, so he's gonna have to try to make the most of this, and this is a rough situation. Gross. SOS is sizing this up and going, what do I do? What can he do? He's gonna throw down a Dark Shrine. When behind, right, guys? Right, chat? Oh, behind isn't even the right word at this point. Combat Shield now finishing up along with Stimpack, so this bio is just going to explode in potential here. Now, a second Warp Prism has been built. It is going to swing around the right-hand side. He's learned! Oh, but look at that. He's gonna spot it. Where are the Marines? Where are they gonna go? Oh, I mean, this is DOA. This is just a dead Warp Prism. Okay, now SOS is gonna get a little tricky here. Down on the bottom right-hand corner of the map, and try to expand to a Ninja, which is not a bad idea by any stretch, but I fear that it's not going to be enough. Yeah, I mean, this feels very all in at this point, and it's Zealots without charge. He can't afford to wait any longer, but where's the whole army? The army's back and behind. Big Stims forward is going to catch all of this army out. Charge is not going to be allowed to finish. He's going to clear up every single Zealot. GG is called. Game number 1 going to Innovation. Oh, what a game. What a game. What a game number 1 here. Pretty fun subset of expectations here. So pretty excited. Now this is a best of 9, so it's quite the show match. I gotta like just enjoying my typical 5 p.m. coffee. Yo, everybody. Thanks for hanging out here. Thanks for joining us over here on Trovo. We are trying a new service here. Alpha X looking to branch out all of our offerings, and we're doing what we can to provide some really cool opportunities in different venues. So do consider making an account here on Trovo. It is free, just like Twitch. Oh my gosh, is that Anki? Anki! The man, the myth, the amigo. Oh. So happy to see. But we are going to go ahead and get into game number 2 here. It's going to be on Death Aura. Innovation flexing his power here. Now, of course, folks, we are raising money for Games for Love. All of these games being cast by yours truly in an attempt to help us raise some money for kids who maybe need a little extra help. Ugh. So do consider checking out our charitable sponsor here in Games for Love. As we get into game number 2, we'll talk a little bit more about how you too can contribute to the donation amount here in just a moment. But spawning in the top left, our blue Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Innovation. Oh no, the SOS is in the wrong spot. I'm gonna have to move that puppy around. And we need to make it smaller. And spawning in the bottom right, it's our red Protoss player playing for Jin Air Green Wings. Give it up for SOS. Somebody call SOS. Doherty's fire. Oh, wait, no, that's something different. No, I'm so sorry. How do we feel about that, chat? Does that look good? Think so. Yeah, that's better. We'll have to flip-flop that back and forth. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Okay. So Death Aura is a bit of a smaller map in the map pool as it sits right now. Not as much room to work with. In fact, I've heard from a lot of Terran players, oh, Fight Club happening here. Oh, get out of here, bro. In fact, I've heard a lot of Terran players make the comment that, you know, we don't really like Death Aura because there just isn't that much room to build things. Now, I sit here and I go, like, my dude, I have this much creep to work with. You want to talk about space? Killing me. I don't have enough space. I'm limited to how much I can build. Please. Now this is interesting. I imagine that this is just going to be a this is just going to be a scouting pylon just to catch drops by any chance. That's my guess. What is that? I don't know what action that is. I did Control G. I don't think it did anything. But anyways, folks, I've got a couple of links that I just posted into the chat. Feel free to click on gamesforlove.org if you want to see what Games for Love is all about. Again, we're working to raise $140 more to our $500 charitable goal. So if you are willing to consider contributing to that amount, we definitely ask you to consider it. Really do appreciate it. Of course, we have a list of awesome people in the lower right-hand corner. You'll see their names and their contributions scrolling by. And I want you to add your name to that list of awesome people. I really do. So please do give that some consideration here as I dive in to talk about the actual game at hand. Rashi cast the game! You got it. You got a Twilight Council coming up here. Good block on the wall here. Doesn't make that difficult to read, but he does see the fact that there is there's a Twilight Council, but a very, very cute grenade here does allow the scout into the main base here. He will be able to spot everything in in SOS's main base. Well, everything maybe not the right way to put it. Oh yeah, I guess he does see everything. So that's a pretty good spot here. But we do have a lot of adepts on the top side of the map here. They are going to get choked up at the top of the ramp, so they will not be able to get any more work done, at least for the time being. But all the workers have been pulled from the natural here. Now there's a bunker, so these will be protected, and a tank is going to come down and settle this in as well. So once that tank gets placed in, this will effectively get put back. These should be able to leap out of the way. And there they go. All in all, though, I mean, 5 workers have gone down. It's a pretty decent trade here when you consider that he gets out all 5 of his adepts. Not a bad place to be. So he still gets to play with those. Now, Blink is just about done, and it is going to be the same setup here that SOS went for in game number 1. There is still a pretty large ridge between the potential third base and the main base expansion. So with the power of the Observer, that will be able to be exploited. And more than likely, he's going to be able to use all of these adepts to help zone, pulling the army all the way to the right-hand side. And that's going to allow these stalkers to blink on forward and seal the deal. All right, yeah, I think this is going to be good posturing here. SOS trying to bait everything over to the right-hand side if at all possible. Meanwhile, yoink! Blinks on up here. There were tanks in waiting, but the Observer of SOS able to help snipe a little bit of that off. But at the same time, he dives the adepts into the mineral line. 4 workers going down on the soft side of this, and he still gets those adepts out. What a madman! Oh, that's actually really high value. I love it. All right, the Observer repositioning here. What can the Observer actually see? He sees all the bio. He is able to see when that leaves, and he does have a good look at the entire entrance to that natural as well. I was gonna say, no way, not a chance that those adepts finish their shade. Now, what's happening on the back side of this? We do have gravitic drive being researched at this point out of the robotics bay. SOS able to put innovation back, and he's just kind of holding him in his base, really limiting the amount that he can do to move out onto the map. We have a drop Colossus on the way. Robotic bay allowing those Colossi to be added into the mix. But it looks like it's going to be innovation that is ready to move this forward. Now, this is still a 2-base Terran. So innovation is kind of on a bit of a precipice here. That income graph is definitely not looking in his favor. I mean, you can see where the mules come into play. Oh my gosh, the drop Colossus getting into the backside of the base is just so silly. Oh, this is just funny. This is actually hilarious. Yeah, he's gonna need more Marines to deal with that. And honestly, where those Marines get perched makes that really difficult for innovation to engage, because he's getting that friendly fire down, but he loses the warp prism. Okay. Well, it's a good play by innovation. It costs him 8 of his workers. I think this is going to be what triggers the move out here. Absolutely. So innovation able to get out to his third base. He scans forward. He sees that SOS is on 3-base economy. The 4th base actually just going down right now. Where is innovation going to strike? I think he absolutely needs to, but he's just going to be patient. Down goes the Dark Shrine here for SOS. SOS wanting that opportunity to be able to blink in forward. I mean, we're seeing that a lot more commonly right now into Blink DT tech for Protoss and TVP, which is interesting. I don't know that we've seen that for a long time. And of course, I mean, somewhere Fear Dragon is just like Got a smug smile on his face going, I told all of you all along. The power of Protoss lies in the Dark Shrine. Not just for cheeses. All right, so gonna split off 4 of these Zealots. Try and create a little bit of a problematic run by. Scan at the front of the base, looking for an army perched. He's not gonna find it. It's because he is bringing the pain. Innovation's away. Now, right now, Innovation is in kind of a rough spot here. He is going to spot this army, but he does have those collapsible rocks that do need to be dealt with. It's a big warp in here of Zealots in the main base. Meanwhile, Innovation is just going to take his full army. He is going to push on forward. He is convinced that he can clean up these Zealots, but he's going to have more Marines than just that. Meanwhile, another big run by at the third base location. So many workers have gone down, 26 overall, but Innovation is all the way in. He is just going to try and jump on top of this. These disruptors try to get on top of the bio, but Innovation says no, sir. Now, the only option, the only other opportunity here that SOS has advantage with is that he can recall his army after he kills as much as he wants to. 58 workers, 60 workers. Like, this is an absurd number. This is a base trade to end all base trades, but does he have enough energy here? He's got 100. Is that enough for a recall? I don't know if it is. I mean, all of the buildings are going to get floated here. This is not a sustainable position for SOS to play from. I think Innovation has done it. I think he's going to kill off this Nexus, and with that, he's going to kill off SOS's chances of staying in this game. Now, there are plenty of Nexi being built out onto the map, but the problem is DTs are never going to be able to hit this. They are never going to get on top of those flying units. There's no Stargate. At least as far as I know. Nah, it's just a gateway. Just one single gateway. And in a heads-up fight, Innovation's got the army supply lead, and his army is just categorically better. There is a DT. Okay, now that is kind of funny. Oh, some really, really good EMPs here by the Ghost. It's actually a cute little play. Now this is where things could potentially get awkward. If he loses all of those, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. That orbital command is actually gonna get tapped. Is it gonna start burning down? Oh, it does. Oh, this is kind of a rough situation. Now those DTs must get that Ghost. They have to. They've got to get those Ghosts. The Ghost is about the only thing that can shut all of this down. Oh yeah, that orbital command is in a rough spot here, and that is going to get shot down. And with that, any hopes of a scan are now gone. He did it. SOS did it. GG is called. Oh, what a madman. I did not see SOS holding that out, but with the scan being removed and the Ghosts not being able to stash up enough energy, that put him in a bad enough spot. Outstanding. Wonderful play. Just good stuff. Just good stuff. Folks, that game alone is totally worth the opportunity to check out our giving link here. Now, my luck. Oh, it worked. Let's go. Folks, I'm going to check this. I'm going to show you this. Show you how easy it is to give to Games for Love. All you have to do is click that donate link that I just posted into the chat. You can see here that we have raised $360 so far. I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much. We're looking for that first donation of the night going towards Game for Love. Of course, you can come to this page and you can see all of the different places here. They've got some bullet points already set aside for you, but if you want to do a custom amount, you can certainly do so. Find those meme numbers. Who's going to be the person to donate $5.69? Wouldn't that just be a nice way to kick off this night? But I believe it is a $5 minimum. But seriously, any amount is no amount is too great or too small to be considered. So if $5 is an amount that you could consider giving towards Game for Love, we would really appreciate that. Now, you don't have to worry about like, okay, what's Reshi going to do with my money? Is it going to go to where it goes? Yes! Reshi doesn't even touch your money. Alpha X doesn't even touch your money. This goes straight to Games for Love, so you can know that your charitable donation is going to the kids. It's for the kids. But it shows two different ways that you can pay. You can pay through your PayPal, you can pay through a credit card, and you can add your name to this amazing list of people. Look, Wardy was here. Wardy! Dust, of course, right now, our top donor, kicking in $100. We're so thrilled. But we'd like to see you add your name to this list. So do consider contributing if it's at all possible for you. We would really love to see that list continue to grow and see us hit that $500 donation amount here tonight. It's going to take some work, but I think we can do it. But let's go ahead and get set up here for game number 3 between Innovation and SOS. It's evened up 1-1. We're going to be going on to Submarine as our next location. Oh, the coffee. I forget how much the coffee heats me up. And I am like a little roasty toasty as it sits right now. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and jump on in. I don't have to adjust SOS's name tag. What? Can't believe we have the technology. Here we go, folks. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Submarine, one of our shorter maps in the pool. It's our red Protoss player playing for Jin Air Greenwings. Give it up for SOS. And spawning in the top left, our blue Terran player playing for Kai Z Gaming. Give it up for Innovation. All right. Probe gonna come in here and be a captain jerk and cause a little bit of problems. But it's not gonna scout anything too terribly crazy. Neither one of these players really jumping at the opportunity to be extra crazy. Of course, we may find some crazy games in this series. We'll have to see. But I know later, for sure, we have a replay from Euthermal and Bly. All I saw on the number was that it was like a 45-minute game. 45 minutes! What are we gonna talk about for 45 minutes? I mean, it must just be crazy. It's just gotta be. So, of course, we've got that to look forward to as well. Of course, we also have a game between Ragnarok and Hurricane. I think that will be fun and exciting as well. So you are in for a treat. Thanks, everybody. 72 awesome people here watching this wonderful cast. Really do appreciate everybody being a part of this. Again, if there was ever a time where you're like, what can I do to help the kids? This is your chance to click on that link in the chat and donate to Games for Love. After all, it's for the kids. Now, we do have another Twilight Council opening. Again, it's kind of common to see our Protoss player always lean into that Blink Stalker opener. So I guess I need to be careful casting it in such a way where it sounds like surprising. It's like the same way as like, oh, the Zerg player built a spawning pool. What do you think he's gonna build with those? Tasteless? Or I think about like back to the day 9, day 100. Oh, excuse me. where he talks about like the first time his brother got to cast in a big like WESG event, and the guy that he was working with was like not very good. So he looks at like a Terran versus Zerg matchup, and he looks at Tasteless and goes, "What do you think he's gonna make out of those barracks, Tasteless? Marines?" Well, yes, I think he is gonna probably make Marines if you know he wants to win the game. Ooh, bit of a change here. We have got some Widowmine action coming down the pipe for innovation. Gonna be a slightly different path, but he is gonna get pushing a little bit forward here. I think he was just looking for the scouting probe, but unfortunately finds stalkers, and in low numbers without stim, these Marines don't trade as efficiently as they probably want to. So we are going to see a bunker go down. Innovation doesn't want to immediately just get pushed over by 3 or 4 different stalkers. But it is going to be a Widowmine drop coming on in here. All the stalkers are out of position, but there are 3 back at home. They are going to stay on top of this medevac. Now there's still one more. That Widowmine's going to get centered into the middle of the mineral line. All in all, oh my gosh, look at the patience. Okay, finally, he loses the Widowmine. It's going to cost 3 probes, but that might be the best scenario for SOS. I mean, he only loses 3 probes to the 3 Widowmines of his opponent. It's a great trade. Take that every single time. So now we are going to see SOS pushing out across the map. See what he can do to his opponent to add to that damage list. Yo, the Kyojin! Thank you so much for that $10 contribution. Just says beautiful idea. I like it. Thank you so much. $370 raised total. So excited. Chad, I think we can do it. I think the Kyojin has pushed. He's pushed the button on the train. Can we get some hype going here? I think we can. Okay. So SOS is going to try and zone out here. Does check for that third base. Third base not on site. In fact, third base doesn't even exist. Not a building on the map at this point. Now we do see that third nexus going down. It's going to be a similar style here. Kyojin, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the kids. Do appreciate that. I actually love how much vision this observer has gotten. I don't think Innovation has intentionally let this go through. But it looks as if he's going to get a full scout and see everything that's here. And there's only 2 tanks. And honestly, one of the tanks is not even in position to do a whole lot of damage. So what else do we have going on here? We do have more Colossi incoming. Did we have a warp prism? There had to have been a warp prism. Yo, Sugar Daddy, kicking in $30. Says we can get 100 more, I believe. We're up to 400, folks. Yo, Sugar Daddy, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that love and support for the kids. We're 100 away, chat. We are 100 away from making it happen. So close. Oh, and speaking of so close, Innovation is so close to pushing out here. He is going to have to posture up for just a brief amount of time, but he's killed the bunker. He is not intending on getting any more done. A Raven sneaks down on the bottom side of the map and is going to cause that worker line pull. A big leap forward. Those tanks are sieged on the low ground, though. A little bit of a bait here by Innovation. This is kind of an interesting spot for SOS to be in. Those tanks are just in a good enough position where They are off to the side enough to be out of the way and protected, but they are still able to protect them that natural opening here. Now the Raven does get picked off, and that I think is a good spot. That should help SOS posture up here. He is even on workers. But once again, we have to consider mules into the equation. At this point, no mules actually on the map just yet. And those tanks are just in such a good position. So what does he see in this particular spot? You can see all the tanks. He now knows that the tanks are all unsieged, but they both see each other. Oh, big engagement here. Those tanks are going to siege up here. The Colossi do need to kind of push forward. They are getting a lot of damage done on the backside. Boys get pulled, and the Colossi are forced to look a different direction. They needed to spend all that time on that bio, but the bio is going to be able to push forward now. Those tanks mostly left intact. In fact, all 4 tanks survive the engagement. That is going to provide a very tricky spot here for SOS. He's trying to work on those production cycles as quickly as he possibly can, warping in as much as he possibly can. He's going to grab one more Colossi that should be here just in time for this engagement, but Vikings are already on site. Did I hear ghosts? Are there ghosts in this mix? There are not. I could have sworn I heard a snipe or two, but this is going to be bio. That will be very difficult to deal with. Innovation has those tanks in position. He's going to be able to shove forward and provide just a little bit more coverage, and I think this is going to be the devastating blow. Battery overcharge does come on in. It's as good of a surround as SOS can provide, but it's just not going to be enough. That Marauder count is too strong. He does need to look back and behind, though. He needs to get the rest of that done, and Innovation has cleaned it out. GG is called. Game number 3 going to our blue Terran player. Well done. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, beautiful stuff. Well played here. Yo, thank you so much, everybody, for the extra contributions. I'm so appreciative of that love and support for Games of Love. Folks, I do want to take an opportunity, because we are doing everything we can to talk about our sponsor in Games for Love. Let me show you a little bit of their website. So the clickable link that I'm going to post right now, if you click on gamesforlove.org, that'll take you directly to their website, and will show you all the different things that Games for Love stands for and all the different programs and opportunities that they provide for kids. Now, they do have this awesome little video, and we're going to play it here really quick because I think it's important. So go ahead and watch.
Welcome to Games for Love. We're easing suffering, saving lives, and creating sustainable futures for children. Our goal is to let kids be kids in spite of their situations and sicknesses. Working with hospitals all over the world. And over the next 5 years, we are on a mission to positively impact the lives of 10 million kids. Best of all, you can join us in this movement by being a part of us. Get involved today by visiting us at gamesforlove.org.
All right. Oh, gosh. Oh, that worked out okay. Oh, I heard what I heard. So I'm going to need to check, because I didn't see the notification come up. No. But folks, lots of great stuff here. They do so many awesome things here. Have lots of different opportunities to be a mentor, to be just a good person to kids who might need a little extra guidance and love in this world. But a $5 contribution, folks, thank you so much. I am going to have to take a look here and find that name. We'll dig deep. We'll look at the list. It's going to come up here soon, and I will make sure to thank you. Most recent, Young Car. Great idea. Great players. Thank you so much for the $5 contribution. Really do appreciate that. Thank you. Young Car. Heart. Less than 3. So we'll talk more about what Games for Love provides just a little bit later, but now, good opportunity to get into our game number 4. This is a best of 9. Innovation up 2-1. In the series, we're going to be going to Everdream. Nose is itchy. Who's thinking about me, chat? No, chat, you can't have access to my OnlyFans account. Gonna have to keep wishing. Okay. We can't talk about this anymore. Now more of you are gonna be thinking about me. Now my nose is gonna be itchier. Oh, let's just go to the game. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, our blue Terran player. Playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Innovation. And spawning in the bottom left, our red Protoss. Playing for Jin Air Greenwings. Give it up for SOS. Oh. I was like, this is the softest warp-in I think I've ever heard. Oh, there we go. Turns out we gotta have like game sounds turned on. What a weird concept, right? So 2-1 here, best of 9. I think, I mean, these are both rather standard players. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them just continue to go to the well and hammer out builds that they feel just really confident with. That just makes a whole bunch of sense to me. So we're not seeing anything too crazy, at least not at this point. And now, yeah, just going to be a pretty standard transition here. Of course, both of these players have set up lots of different games against each other. So I don't think that there's a whole lot that these two can like surprise each other with. But we've been wrong before. Now, is that a full block off? It looks like it. It feels like that might be a jumpable location. I'm guessing it's not. Oh yeah, look at that. There's like that little statue there. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Look at that. It's kind of cool. Code S level show match. Rushy's like, look at the map assets. That's so neat. All right, so Adept is going to be able to get in here. It is a 3-shot on all of these workers. So 1, not very efficient. The 3rd command center, though, does get spotted being built. The Adept not going to be able to blink out. But SOS knows that his blue opponent is looking to get a little economic. Tossing that in the back left corner, hoping that maybe the Adepts wouldn't be able to see that. Unfortunately, just wishful thinking at this point. But behind that, I mean, it's a 3rd Nexus going down for SOS as well, so maybe both of our players are going to get a little economic here in game number 4. Right here on the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. So it's going to be Blinkstalker once again getting set up for this match. Innovation not going to go for the mine drop in this game. He is instead just going to play in a similar style that he did to game 1 and 2. Throwing down a tank, getting into his bio count, and making a 6 to 7 minute push. But I think SOS is going to be the one that gets aggressive here initially, trying to zone out with these stalkers at this point. We'll have to see what he can get accomplished. Blink is done in about 4 seconds, so he will be able to make the most of this situation here. But it looks like Innovation is ready to try and move out as well, so this is a really good counter timing. But SOS is not ready to just toss these stalkers away just yet. However, where, oh where could SOS go? He could just boop right up into the main base, but look at Innovation. He's pulling all the workers. The boys have been pulled. Yeah, and there is just not enough production here. I mean, SOS has got to be going, wait, where is all of your stuff? And that is going to be a lot of panic warpins back at home. Throwing down a shield battery, trying to get on top of this army. There's one force field. Actually really well placed here. Does divide up a little bit of the army. And there is a Colossus out on the map as well. What's happening back here for SOS? He's got 4 stalkers still doing work here. 10 workers have gone down. And now the bio is being thinned out here. Tanks are about all that is left along with the workers. And this is an interesting situation here. The battery overcharge onto the Colossus. This is a great hold. GG. SOS with an amazing S-tier hold. Holding it down and evening up the series again. 2-2. GG. Wow. That was a fun, exciting way to move through that. That was cool. Very good stuff. So both of these players kind of trading back and forth, and I'm not terribly surprised to see that. Both of these players are very well matched and very evenly equipped. So very good timing here. And that is going to get us set up here for game number 5. Oh, boy. We're going to see more shenanigans coming out of our 2 players, or will we start to see some macro? We're going to have to find out here as we are headed to Pillars of Gold. Folks, you're watching the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. We are $95. We are $95 away from meeting our charity goal. Folks, consider clicking those links in the chat. Gamesforlove.org. Great group of people. We would love to see you support them, if at all possible. I am going to need to move this this SOS tag because he is spawning in the top right. And now we are going to jump on in. Spawning in the top right of Pillars of Gold. It's our red Protoss player playing for Generic Green Wings. Bringing it back even. Give it up for SOS. And spawning in the bottom left, our blue Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Innovation. So folks, once again, great opportunity to consider clicking on those links and checking out our charity sponsor here. We are $95 away from our goal. We would love to be able to hit that tonight, but we need your help to get there. Of course, you can consider donating. All of that money goes directly to our charitable organization here in Games for Love. We don't even see it. Don't even touch it or sniff it or any weird thing that you can possibly think of. So I know people are tend to be concerned about where their money goes, and I think that's a great thing. But you can trust that all of this money goes directly to the places that it is needed, and that is for the kids. We got a gas steal happening here by SOS. Kind of an interesting scenario for SOS to try and do here. It does slow down the gas production. Not going to be able to have access to tanks as quickly. Eliminates the potential for that Widow Mine drop, which on Pillars of Gold, I mean, there is pretty decent flight path to get a Widow Mine drop into your main base before you have a really good chance to spot it. So I don't hate this option from SOS. So we're going to have to see how creative Innovation is able to be in this setup. But on the backside, it is going to be SOS continuing to try and be as sneaky as he possibly can. Gonna put a little bit of damage onto the SCV building the bunker, but overall will not get the damage he's looking for. He will have to cancel the shade and get back with his life, but he will be able to help zone here. It is going to be an Oracle here. Stargate, we're switching it up. SOS getting into a bit of a different position here. Lots and lots of Blink Stalker here in the first 4 games, which again, more standard play, but now we are starting to see not a Vindicta. I just looked in the chat and saw Vindicta there. Oh, got me thinking about him. We are starting to see an SOS switching things up. So we're going to have to see how effective this is. Now, outside of the Marines, there's not a lot to push this off. And all the Marines are being pushed down into the main. And there's actually a small enough number here, he is just going to try and pick those off. And he gets a couple of them. But now we are going to watch him try and collect as many kills as he can. Only 3. Really not able to get on top of much else. But it does come at the cost of 4 workers. So I mean, this is some pretty decent damage done here so far. And a second Oracle getting added in on top of this. I think this is about to get a little silly. Oh, but here comes the drop. And this is what I was talking about. I mean, this feels like a very late mine drop at this point. And it's only got 2 mines on top of it. So lowered amount of gas. These Oracles are going to try and get more work done. And this is going to be the economic damage that he was looking for. 4 more workers taken down off the line. The whole line gets pulled on top of it. But now we are going to see what kind of response Innovation has over on SOS's side of the map. And this is not going to be as effective. A Phoenix going to get a great liftoff on one of those Widow Mines, preventing it from being effective. Ooh. Oh, that was like on a razor thin edge here. Ultimately, this is going to be cleaned up. 10 workers do go down for it, though. But somehow, some way, it's still less workers than what Innovation has lost. But now look at the army supply here. Innovation in a good spot, army count wise. There is no medevac though. Yo, Vindicta casting on fire. Thank you so much for doing that and saying Rushy's been putting in the work. It's been a busy couple of days, I'm not going to lie, but I do enjoy casting. I do enjoy being a part of Alpha X. I think it's a bunch of amazing people here, so thank you so much for the shout out. I do appreciate that a lot. This is going to be a rough situation here for SOS. SOS just doesn't have what he needs. He's getting Glaive Adepts, but Glaive Adepts are only half done. If these tanks are allowed to siege, this is going to be a really rough situation. Now, there are a lot of SCVs in this mix, So it's not all bio that's going to be deadly here, but there's just still, I think, just a bit too much, especially on top of workers that can heal these tanks. Oh. SOS playing with fire. He's just waiting for those resonating glaives to finish up. Now, glaives are finished. A third tank getting added into the mix. This is going to be bio that kind of stems on forward here. I love the bunker on the backside, but there is no way to get behind this army. SOS is kind of choked up here at this point, and this is a rough situation. No stalkers into the mix. These Vikings don't have anything that are really going to be able to shoot at them, and now that the Phoenix is gone, that is going to make this engagement a big all-in. He gets about as good a surround as he possibly can with these Adepts, but the Adepts are just getting cleaned up. SOS has one more warp in. He will add stalkers into the mix, but there's still 2 tanks left, and 1 tank has the mega repair. Vikings actually get landed. Those are going to be so effective against all the mechanical units of our Protoss player. And I think we are going to see, with the depowering of one of these gateways, the slow, painful death of our Protoss player. I think Innovation has done it. He has timed this out as best as he possibly can. There goes the Templar Archives. No more upgrades. Oh no! SOS not happy about it. GG is called, and Innovation brings it up 3-2. SOS was not happy about that. The question mark. Can I get a question mark in the chat? Oh, making that a funny situation. Of course, that is going to bring us to game number 6. Folks, we're $95 away from our goal. Thank you to everyone who has been able to contribute tonight. I'm going to ask all of you, if you have not, please consider if you would be so kind. Of course, we want to do everything we can to help offer some great things for our sponsor. Now, one of the things that Games for Love does is they offer a bunch of different programs, different ways to utilize the funds that they donate and fundraise to best serve kids all around the world. Some of the programs that you could contribute to would be the Games for Love experience, boots on the ground in over 100 hospitals and other child welfare facilities worldwide to honor hospital staff, spend time with kids, deliver gifts to patients, serve food, and celebrate how games help children with special events. One of their other programs is the One Up Life Bridge, where they offer life-changing treatments and life-saving treatments for kids and families that might not be able to afford it otherwise. Kids of Code, a program that links arms with children's hospitals and other child well-being facilities for kids going through extended treatments or situations, offering coding boot camps online that allow those who have faced adversity to get no-cost education for in-demand STEM skills to look beyond the walls of their situation into their future to create hope and stability for life. Scholarships, internships, the League of Pros are just a few of the programs offered by Games for Love, and your charitable donation goes to help fund those different events and opportunities for kids. So a very, very good opportunity to do so. Once again, if you click that donate link in the chat, it will take you out to this window where it will show you we have raised $405. We're so close to our goal of $500, folks. You can come down here, click on any one of these bubbles. You can add in a custom amount. Again, get those meme numbers out. I'm ready. I'm ready to laugh with you. Your chat is ready to laugh with you. You can give us your information. And again, we want to add you to our list of amazing people. And of course, today, the Kyojin, Sugar Daddy, and Young Car. Thank you so much for your contributions. We really do appreciate your generosity. And we would love to add as many people as we possibly can to this list. So thank you for considering. We appreciate you giving that some thought. As we jump in to map number 6 here, it's going to be on Golden Wall. We're seeing an Innovation that is up 3-2. Innovation does need one more win if he is going to try and compete for a match point. Will he be able to find it on Golden Wall, or will SOS have yet another strong counter timing to be able to deflect his opponent once more? We'll have to find out here. You guys are watching the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. My name is Rushy. I hope all of you are having an outstanding day. Oh, I heard it. Yo, Rushy is the best. Donated $5 saying, let's go. That is too kind. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you for supporting the kids. We're now $90 away. Chat, give it some thought. Thank you so much as we jump in here to Golden Wall, spawning in the bottom right of Golden Wall. Our blue Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Innovation. And spawning in the bottom left, our red Protoss player playing for Jyn Air Green Wings. Give it up for SOS. Oh. Chad, are you getting hyped for some of our later games here? We have after the Innovation SOS series, we will have a game between Ragnarok and Hurricane, which should be a lot of fun. But then also Belai versus Euthermal. Again, I was told a 45-minute game. And the only way it was described was bonkers. Like, I'm pretty excited. So I think we should have a good way to end this out. I would love to be at our goal by the time we start our last game, our 45-minute game. I'm gonna have to like dig deep for so much energy. All of the coffee is just gonna like be sucked out of my body because the energy needed is gonna be so high. But I'm ready. I think it'll be good. Now, both of our players keeping this pretty low-key. One thing that is noticeable, though, that Innovation doesn't have a natural. What is Innovation thinking in this game? It does look like he is going to try and get up a very quick tech path here, grabbing that starport early. And he's going to pump out Hellions. Is this going to be a Hellion drop? I think so. Medevac on the way. I mean, this is actually a pretty good map for that kind of play, because think about all the dead space on the bottom side of Golden Wall, and now all of a sudden you just drop on top of like this spot right here, or if you can like weasel your way down into that back corner, and then suddenly all your probes are just a little bit warmer when they have a whole bunch of Hellions lighting them up. Oh, very interesting here. Oh, it's a hallucinated oracle. Interesting stuff here. It's actually going to force the medevac into an early exchange here. Where? What? There were Hellions. Oh, the Hellions are out front. Okay. So not exactly the push I was expecting, but I don't think that Innovation was expecting the scout from SOS either. So I imagine that did kind of set him off kilter. Put him in a bit of an awkward position. But it is going to be a full setup here. Innovation going to get as aggressive as he possibly can. Now he does jump on top of the shield battery, and with that gone, now these stalkers are going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. But fortunately, not getting a whole lot out of the medevac in terms of heals. The bio will get cleaned up. Same thing with the Hellions. So good defense by SOS. The 3 Marines going to try and come in and grab just a little bit more, but unfortunately not going to find it. 3 probes does go down, but it pales in the cost of losing those 3 Marines and the 3 Hellions. So a bit of a tough situation here for Innovation. Does not get the damage done that he needs to. He is going to be down workers. Now, mules are good. It's going to help bring him back at least to an even amount here. And you can see how SOS kind of runs away with it for a little bit. But anytime those mules are on the field, Innovation will be able to catch up even for just a brief amount of time. But I don't know that he has a whole lot here to deal with these Stalkers. And these Stalkers are just going to blink on past. You have a bunker? I don't care about your bunker. Now, one piece of this that is interesting is there is no high ground vision. So the Stalker's not able to blink up onto the high ground. That actually, I think, would be like devastating damage. So Innovation will be able to push this off. 7 workers come off of the back of this. This is a really rough game for Innovation. These Stalkers are getting so much value, and they're just going to rotate around. Innovation, you've got to smell this, my dude. He has no clue. He has no clue that the Stalkers are going to be on their way. And I love the Phoenix. I absolutely love it. Providing that vision, he's going to scout it forward. Oh, that Raven is just like in 1-tap range. Oh, he doesn't go for it. Interesting. He does get the tank, though. And now that Raven is going to be very, very dangerous. Actually kind of baiting it forward here, trying to get on top of that. Lots and lots of good zoning here by Innovation. Does pull workers off of the mineral line to add to the DPS. But more than anything, just making it difficult for SOS to single target out those Marines. The Marines are small. Those are tough to click on. SOS behind this is getting out to his 3rd base. The command center of Innovation also done as well, but look at the difference here, 83 to 72. And it is a significant worker disagreement at this point. So I think it's just so interesting here. Oh, and this is not a best of 7. This is a best of 9. I had that incorrect. I have fixed that on the overlay. Nobody even knew. All right, so good Blink Stalker count. I mean, there's only 1 tank at this point, but there's a lot of bio. I think that's not worth it. Warp Prism was going to try and get in and do a nice big warping of Zealots, but good counter force on the bottom side there. Yes, my apologies. This is a best of 9, not a best of 7. That was my bad. I got it changed, though. We got it fixed. Okay, yet another Colossus drop. I love it. Now, no Gravitic Drive this time around. Stim is just about done, though, along with Combat Shield. So these Marines are going to be very effective here. There's a big blink forward. There are a couple of tanks here. The Stalker's going to try and get on top of it, but now the Colossus is going to add into the mix here, trying to deal with as much of that bio as possible here. Innovation doing a nice job of deflecting this damage. It's going to be another warp-in of Zealots trying to come in on the top side, but very good tank coverage takes care of that in just a heartbeat. Warp Prism going to try and bring these Colossi into the fray once again. But Innovation with a very, very solid hold. The only thing is look at that worker disparity, 61 to 39. Innovation has a very good army count at this point, but behind this, he doesn't have a whole lot. So I feel like SOS is in a position where he can hold this down. A great Disruption Matrix actually shuts down the ability of that Warp Prism. Innovation able to pick all that off. That was the engagement he needed. That's what he needed. Unbelievable stuff here. 77 army units gonna move out across the map. SOS, what do you have, my dude? You really don't have that much. Not to deal with a bunch of tanks and a bunch of workers and a bunch of bio. but he is going to try and posture here. Both players going to find the center of the map. Innovation being very, very cautious. He does not want to miss position and lose all of these units to the Colossus. That army count is not fantastic for SOS, but he's going to try and zone this as best as he possibly can. All of those workers going down on the very front, so 11 workers killed, but it's all for this siege. Big blink forward, going to get on top of the tanks. The stalkers on the top side going to slowly start working out. The splash damage of Innovation is very, very strong, but SOS is going to be able to hold this down, and there's nothing back behind this. GG is called, and SOS, for the third time, evens up this series. 3-2-3. Well played. Wow. I mean, these are two players that are just slugging each other back and forth. Yeah, anytime you're pulling SCVs against Colossi, it's just not quite that effective. Just not quite. All right, folks, going to game number 7. It's even up. It's effectively a best of 3 at this point. We're going to be moving on to Ice and Chrome, but first, once again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. You guys are watching the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream here, right here on trovo.live/AlphaXSC2. We're raising money for Games for Love. We are about halfway through. We're getting close to halfway through our production. So we do want you to consider checking out our charity sponsor. I'll go ahead and put that link in the chat. Once again, we are $90 away from our goal, folks. Of course, we started yesterday with a big, long charity cast, and we are ready to see if we can do even more today to get ourselves to our $500 goal, but we need your help. So consider checking out that link. All of the money goes directly towards Games for Love, providing resources and opportunities for children who might be in not the greatest situations in the world. So please do give that a look over, give it some thought. If you want to learn more about them, you can check out their website, gamesforlove.org. That link is also in the chat as well. We are going to get ready to go here as we jump into Ice and Chrome, game number 7. What are we going to find? Are we going to find more shenanigans? We might. But I do have to move down. Are there any oil barons in the chat? I love it. Text. SOS text. No. Oh, there we go. We've done it. Alrighty. Let's transition. Let's go. It's still a little bit too high. No. Oh. You are just a pain in the butt sometimes, OBS. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome, our blue Terran player. It's 3-3. Best of 3 is left. Give it up for Innovation. And spawning in the bottom left of Ice and Chrome. It's our red Protoss player. Playing for Janair Greenwings. Give it up for Innovation. Innovation doesn't like late game against Protoss. I mean, that's fair. Neither do I. I can relate to that. Here we are. Game number 7. You have to wonder if after 6 games, things will start to get a little bit aggressive. I mean, both of these players playing some rather interesting builds. We are seeing natural expanse coming down for both. So it's not going to be that crazy. But we will have to keep an eye on that production tab. We never know when we might see something pivot. And who knows? Maybe the Reaper will just like wear off and walk away with 16 drone kills. Wouldn't that just be exciting? Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be the case. Now, we are going back into a Twilight Council opener. So, we could very much see more Blink Stalkers here. I mean, this is a rather abusable ledge, especially if you're able to pull your opponent all the way out to the entrance of their natural. It's so far away from the ramp. And these Stalkers can actually get a pretty decent position. Get on top of that production, get on top of the choke at the ramp. Could potentially be a very, very good position for him to play from. The Blink is on the way. We do see another Starport. Oh, it's gonna be a Widowmine drop. Oh, I'm ready. Oh Lord, she coming. Well, now wait a minute. It's just one Widowmine at this point. Now, is that going to be the Widowmine to protect against an Oracle? Oh no, there's a second. Wait, where did it come from? Did he have two out? What am I missing? Okay, he's got two Widowmines. It's just going to be a two Widowmine drop. I didn't see where that second Widowmine came from. Huh. That kind of surprised me. So we do have Blink on the way. A Forge incoming as well. We'll be able to add on the upgrades. But we're going to have to see how much damage Innovation can actually get done here with this Widowmine drop. Now remember, this is only 2. So this is a far less dedicated drop, but it does come a little bit earlier than normal. We'll have to see how SOS does here. Nice pull on those probes. The second one does try to burrow into the... Oh, okay. That was actually pretty okay. Does manage to burrow into the ground. And Innovation able to pick up one of the medevacs here. Overall, though, not the damage he's looking for. It is pretty much a wash at this point, as long as he is able to hold on to that medevac. But that medevac is just going to be punched into the back corner. This is a lot of Blink Stalker to be moving out onto the map. What is SOS able to work with here? I mean, he has a slight worker lead. The army advantage is very clearly in Innovation's favor. But it is a lot of gateways going down on the backside of this. So 4 gateways incoming. I think SOS is going to go a little all in on this. We've got Charge incoming as well. So this is, this is about as all in as you can get at this point. 1-1 on the way for Innovation. Innovation also grabbing more and more of those unit producing buildings. SOS going to put a proxy pylon out onto the map to add to the push power of this particular game. Now we find ourselves in a bit of a spot here. Going to be 8 Zealots getting warped in here. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is going to be a big all-in scenario, but somehow Innovation still holds the army advantage. SOS is going to get a gateway out here so he can get those speed warp-ins. But I'm not sure it's going to matter in just a moment. I feel like Innovation is going to be winding up here to hit as hard as he possibly can. I mean, how many Zealots are here? I mean, it's almost 24 zealots being added into the fray. But here comes the army of innovation. He is ready to move, and he is on his way. Now, charge is done. Charge will be able to get on top of all of these units. Now, will the mines help or hurt innovation? They will help. They are not going to actively hurt either, which I think is a very important, maybe a more important data point. Innovation in a really good choke point here. Gets a great anti-armor missile on top of all of these zealots. Those zealots cannot engage. I mean, they're just going to fall apart. They're going to get sneezed at, and all of SOS's army just gets bullied into the back corner. Oh, this is a rough situation here for our red Protoss player. Innovation making quick work of SOS's army. But on the backside of this, what does he even have? He's going to warp in Stalkers. He has +1 armor on the way. But this is just going to be way too much bio. I think innovation is just going to push across the map and wrap this up. That Stalker is going to blink out of the way in the nick of time. Innovation has his third base out. Bio will be ready to stem forward here in just a moment. Now, the only option, or the only upside here for SOS is that so this bio is damaged. There's not a lot of energy left on these medevacs, if any. So one more stem will be very, very crucial here, but a big anti-armor missile coats this entire army. He's just going to jump right on top of that Colossi. This is just too much. Dorito dust is way too strong. Battery overcharge is good, but it is not good enough. The bio is going to stem forward, and innovation moves himself to match point in this best of 9 series. GG. Very, very well played here by both players. But SOS has every single game put himself in position to clear the hurdle and bring himself back dead even with his opponent. Can he do it one more time? We will have to find out. Ooh, exciting stuff here. And you know what? I don't want to keep the suspense too great. We're just going to go ahead and jump into map number 8. It's going to be on Everdream. So we've gone through all 7 maps in the pool. And now we find ourselves all the way back at the beginning, where innovation is able to secure a potential win here. Or will this player, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream, have something to say about it? Our red Protoss player playing for Generic Greenwings. He needs your energy. Give it up for SOS. And spawning in the top right. 1 win away from claiming our show match victory. It's our blue Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for innovation. Folks, as we wind up this game, please do give some thought to Games for Love. Of course, this whole stream is brought to you by Alpha X on behalf of Games for Love. We're raising money for charitable donation, nonprofit organization that works with kids to help provide them a sustainable future and a path towards a better life through video games. If you want to learn more about the organization, feel free to check out gamesforlove.org. Our goal is $500. We're $90 away from our goal, chat. I'm so hyped. I know we can get there, but we will need your help. So please do consider digging deep into your pocket for the kids. As we get ourselves into this game number 8, where innovation is on match point. And we'll have to see what, if anything, SOS has in his arsenal to try and deflect his opponent. Now, this is kind of an interesting play here. Innovation not going for that early Reaper. He is just going to open Marine. playing very, very safe rather than getting in to the main base, dashing around, trying to get that scouting information. And instead, on this game, he is just gonna have a very basic scouting information off of his SCV, and that's it. Vindicta saying that he doesn't blame Innovation for not liking late game against Protoss. That's fair. That feels very relatable. I just think in general, Protoss late game is difficult to deal with. We do have a Twilight Council coming down from SOS. So one more time, possibly able to go to the well and close this out with Blink Stalkers. And we are already going to see the proxy pylon out across the map. Is it just going to be for Warpins, or is it going to be for something else here? Now, is Innovation going to accidentally spot it here? I don't think so. But the pylon is still there, along with the probe. Wonder if this probe is going to try and throw down another building. It might just be a gateway to get extra fast Warpins. We'll have to see here. But in the short term, it is just going to be Stalker Warpins at this point. Slow Stalker Warpins at that. Bum, 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 bum. Alrighty. So good mine coverage here at the front. We'll be able to lay down the defense that he needs. It's going to need more Stalkers if SOS does want to try and break that. But Innovation's just going to pick up and try and get his mine drop into place. Is it just going to be 2 mines? It is. Raven back behind this along with a tank. This is 6 Stalkers without Blink, at least at this point. Blink is on the way. About another 20 seconds before it is done and completed. Thanks everybody for joining us for this event. Really do appreciate it a lot. Okay, the tank is set and ready to go. Supply depot is being put into position. Stalkers back at home will be able to sort off the medevac. And this continues to be kind of a tricky situation here for Innovation. I mean, he is boxed in. It appears that SOS is going to try and get out to his third base, and in fact, he does. And now we find ourselves in kind of a precarious situation. Got a robotics bay coming as well, and it is going to be more of those wonderful, wonderful Colossi. Gonna be a Blink Stalker coming up on the top side here. Nice rotation around. Does catch a bit of this army off guard as the bio is able to reposition and push this back, but it does come at the cost of the reactor on the starport. So starport is going to be delayed just a little bit here. Innovation not going to be able to get out more of those Vikings just yet. He's going to have to wait and be patient. Innovation trying so hard to make something work with this medevac, but the medevac not able to get into position. Not at this point, at least. So the good news is Innovation is safe, at least for right now, as long as there are no air units like the Phoenix that will get on top of that. But the other downside is it is army supply that he cannot even get on top of. So bummer to say the least. The Observer does have some good info on the main base, and we will see SOS here getting out to the Warp Prism. This is just the timing that Innovation is, in fact, looking for. He's got the bio he needs. He's got some tanks. He's got a Raven. He's going to try and get out. He needs to secure that third base as well. But is he going to be able to find this Colossi and the Warp Prism? Warp Prism is going to rotate onto the top left side and possibly dive into a mineral line, but right now Innovation just wants to secure that third base. Not going to go any further than that, at least to start. But now the Colossus is going to get on to the backside of this Warp Prism. Going to continue rotating. 2 workers gone down. Not the damage that SOS is looking for just yet. So this is going to continue rotating. Oh, this is going to be a little bit more advantageous here. He can get some good swipes. I love this defense by Innovation, dropping those units in such a way that they're not on top of SCVs. They're not going to be on top of each other and just immediately get pinned off. And suddenly, it's now SOS who's being pinned back. So he is going to, Innovation going to try and grab those mines. That's not going to happen at this point. Unfortunately for Innovation, SOS has recall. So the Warp Prism will be protected, at least for right now. And now we see a situation where SOS is going to wind up. He's got the army count to match Innovation. How is he going to navigate this, though? He is going to run out to that third base location and try and get on site here as we get ourselves to a bit of a back and forth here. Now, there's already a Ghost Academy in this area. This is going to potentially become come under fire here, but there's so much happening in so many different places. This Warp Prism going to drop off a whole mess of zealots. It's gonna cost 13 workers, and there's more zealots on the way. But here is the main damage. Oh, outstanding! Anti-armor missile getting on top of most of this army. That should empower Innovation to leap on forward. This is a bit of a tricky situation here for SOS. SOS can't afford to lose this third base at this point. Tanks are already perched and ready to go. SOS trying to wait as long as possible. He wants to get rid of that anti-armor missile if possible, but the Raven just gonna queue up another one. And it does get on top of more of those valuable units, but the third base does fall. So many workers lost on the backside of this, though. 18 taken down. This is a huge run by here. This is a big moment here for Innovation. He has to hold this if he wants to advance and become the winner. Can he do it? Vikings gonna get on top of the Colossi. Well, one Colossus already following. The second will follow. And that is just too much bio. Innovation has held his position and he pushes forward. He knows that SOS doesn't have a lot left in the tank. Big Stim's going to get on top of the remainder of these forces. And I think that all of a sudden, Innovation will claim victory. GG is called, and Innovation is our show match champion. Well played by both of our players. But Innovation managing to secure the victory and seal the deal. 5-3 over SOS. Outstanding games and outstanding situation here. But folks, we are not quite done yet. This is only one of our 3 matchups that we have set in place for you this evening. We do have a couple more systems set up in place. Of course, we are going to go to Ragnarok versus Hurricane next. Should be a fun series here for you. Well, not a series. This is going to be a best of 1. Yo, Young Car, thank you so much. Hope to see you again in the very near future. But we are going to take a short break. Chat, I am all by myself, and I will admit that some of these are very exhausting, and I know that we've got a bit of a fun one coming up as well. So I'm going to take a quick break, grab a drink of water, and rest my voice. But when we return, we will be jumping into our next game. It's going to be Ragnarok versus Hurricane. So don't go anywhere, folks. You won't want to miss these awesome, fun games that you haven't seen anywhere else. You are watching the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. My name is Rushy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. So glad that you are still here with us here. We are on trovo.live/AlphaXSC2 for the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. We've got a couple of great games ready to go here. We're going to be setting up for another fun series between Ragnarok and Hurricane. Now, where we had a big, long, drawn-out series, this one will not be so much the case. This is just going to be a best of one, but I was told that this is going to be pretty good, I think, all things considered. So we're hoping that this is going to be a great ZVP to keep things rolling here, as we are working to try and set ourselves up for an outstanding goal reached. $500. We are so close. $90 away. Think we can do it, but we need your help to help kick in here. So I'm going to do my part, try and provide you some hype casting and some interesting insight here as we jump in to this best of one between these two consummate Korean professionals, spawning in the bottom left is our red Protoss player, currently teamless. Give it up for Hurricane. And spawning in the top right, our blue Zerg player, playing for Alpha X of all teams. We love those people. Give it up for Ragnarok. So, two outstanding Code S level players. I'm going to be setting up here on Eternal Empire. Now, I certainly enjoy this matchup because there's Zerg. Yes, Zerg. I always enjoy getting Zerg on the screen because I feel like my brain can process so much more and make it so much easier to do like insightful commentary, lots of exciting insight. Of course, I'm no Ragnar. Don't get me. But I like to think that I can provide at least some decent insight. But it is going to be kind of a slow three-base opener here for Ragnarok. Not quite jumping out to it right away, needing to zone away the probe, at least in the initial short term. We are going to see a Twilight Council opening for our Protoss player. Now, this is going to provide some good tech path here for Hurricane. I mean, right now, we're finding a lot of Protoss players still. Oh, I just realized that SOS is still there. Nope, goodbye. We don't need that anymore. Thank you. Thank you for your time. But we're still finding a lot of players going for that Glaive Adept timing here in the short term. And it does give us a really good insight on what the Protoss is able to do here in the early game, because we find out that I mean, it's pretty strong, all things considered. Oh, there's that Diva announcer pack. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Now, it is going to be 4-gate pressure here. Twilight Council coming down as well. Going to get on top of the production here with a Warp Prism. And now it's going to come down to Ragnarok to make some decisions here. So, very, very good call made. Going to throw down the Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber at the ramp. And this is going to be really, really good at zoning out these Adepts as they do try to warp in. I mean, one of the biggest advantages of this Adept timing attack is that not only can the Adepts attack a lot quicker than Roaches and or Zerglings, but they can zip back and forth. But with the wall here, I mean, that is going to protect Ragnarok from added pressure. So we are going to see the Adepts begin positioning here. There's only 3. I mean, not a big commitment at this point. Where did that Warp Prism go? Did the Warp Prism get picked off? No. No way it did. Oh, it's right here. There we go. So we'll see the opportunity to have those Warpins coming, but nothing at this point. The Ragnarok doing a nice job, and Hurricane's not committing too far into this. But look at Ragnarok's army count. 24 more Zerglings being added in here. Ragnarok's going to move across the map with these Roaches and put himself in position here to strike once again. Ravager's going to be added into the mix, and this is a bit of a precarious situation here for Hurricane. He's going to get shoved back into his base. There are a couple of Immortals, and those are going to be scary for sure. But as these Roaches continue to morph, they do get put into Ravager territory. And now suddenly we find a third base going down here for Hurricane. This is kind of a rough situation. Look at this worker count. 50 workers, but no place to put them all. The Cyber Core does get picked off here. A very good force field does zone out a good chunk of the Lings, not able to completely flood in. But the Cyber Core is going to have to be remade. In fact, it already was in the main, all put together and in a good position to keep this rolling. So now we do see most of these Roaches actually rotated out, and this kind of becomes an interesting scenario. Now, Hurricane is realizing the situation here. He is getting more and more of those Adepts. The Adepts going to trade much more efficiently against the Ravager and Zergling combo compared to Stalker. But he does still need to find a way to deal with the overwhelming force of Ragnarok. These Ravagers slowly getting picked off. The Warp Prism doing a nice job of ferrying Immortals back and forth. Ragnarok's just going to head back home as it sits right now. What's he going to pick up behind this? He is going to grab his +1 missile. He is going to get that Roach speed as well. So we are going to see more Roaches added into this army composition. And Ragnarok's going to continue making his lead grow larger and larger by the minute. I mean, the worker count's still in pretty good shape, but look at this advantage here for Ragnarok. He's going to get these Zerglings around this Nexus. Is he going to be able to knock that down? I think he will. He does force the cancel on that. And suddenly, this is kind of an interesting position for Ragnarok to play from. We do have Gravitic Drive on the way, and Ragnarok immediately spots it. So Hurricane not going to be able to be sneaky. Does kind of show his hand with Disruptors. Disruptors are, I mean, they're pretty good. This is like, I think the clever way to put this down. But wait a minute, he's pivoting. Okay, we do have one Disruptor, but instead of getting the second Disruptor, he is just gonna go for a Colossus. But yeah, Gravitic Drive now completing. We're gonna watch this. I mean, look at this. Just zoom. All right, Blink is done as well. On to the next part of the game here as Hurricane gets himself into position. Now, we are going to finally see these adepts used for their full potential here. Alongside this, it is going to be extended thermal lance. We are going to see that fourth base come down for Hurricane. But where is that warp prism? The warp prism is here. Not going to fire just yet. Queen is there to try and zone out the warp prism just a little bit. Oh, is he going to catch something? Ooh, very good split there at the last second, keeping that alive. Now the fourth base is still on the way. We do see 1-1 being researched. So +1 missile attack, +1 melee attack, and +1 carapace. So 1-1-1 all the way around. Oh, a very, very good contaminate on the robotics facility is going to slow down the production of that Colossus just a little bit. But you're going to see Templar archives and more gateways being thrown down as well. Oh, that was a big snap there. That disruptor getting a large amount of kills. Ragnarok in a good position, though. He's still up workers. He is even on bases now. So he does need to keep that in mind as he does reposition himself around the map. Oh, very, very close. Picks up that disruptor in the last possible second. This is kind of a rough scenario here for Hurricane to try and get into a spot, but now it does look like Ragnarok and Hurricane are going to kind of hit each other at about the same time. Both of these armies on opposite sides, and they both have fourth bases in their targets. Now, there are Banelings here, but they're not going to commit all the way in. Oh my gosh, look at all of these hallucinated Archons. I mean, Ragnarok's got to be looking at this going, wait, there's no way you have this much. No way. So this is a bit of a scary position here. Those Banelings not connecting with anything that shouldn't be. But look at the Banelings up on the bottom side here, trying to find connections with any possible angle they can get on top of. And they do a really nice job. Ragnarok's very, very patient, tries to do as much as he can, and he is going to get on the backside of this army with the rest of his Ravager Roach Ling. He's going to force a recall onto a couple of these expensive units. All in all, it is going to be 7 workers killed. Both players do lose their fourth base, but Ragnarok's already got a fourth base replacement on the backside here. And then also, just look at that supply. Look at that income advantage. Look at the army graph. Hurricane, it had to sacrifice so much more of his army, but also his production's not going to be near as fast. So Ragnarok doing a nice job with his injects, although there are no queens. Where did all of these queens get pulled to? I guess is remaking a couple of them. So we do see a new evolving situation here. Drop Colossus. This Colossus has 18 kills. What a champion. That Speed Warp Prism getting as much value as it possibly can here. 5 workers does go down, and there's a couple of adepts also working on the top side. But meanwhile, during all of that engagement, there was a Spire thrown down. There are mutas out on the field. Those mutas are going to be very, very useful against the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is going to have to go back home. This Colossus has 25 kills. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now these mutas are going to continue to cause harassment. This is going to be yet another thing that that Hurricane has to deal with here. We do have pathogen glands being researched at this point. Hive Tech is just about done as well. So if Ragnarok wants to drag this game out further, he can consider going for corruptors. He can look at getting into the Broodlord tech, but it is going to be Ultralisks that he decides to go for. Gonna grab some Vipers as well. Vipers will be very, very good. Gonna pull those delicate Colossi up out of position. But look at this. I think Ragnarok and Hurricane are gonna try and wind up to hit each other once again. Now, I think this time, instead, Hurricane is going to check that fourth base with a couple of Scouterlings before he sends his whole army. And this time around, I don't think Ragnarok is gonna try and base trade with his opponent. Hey, Bibbs' kid donating $5 here. When does it Vindicta chug a Red Bull? I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, this is a big engagement here though. So many Banelings come crashing on in to this army. He does manage to get on top of so many of the delicate units here, but there are so many Stalkers left. Ragnarok, though, is able to remax. He's got 38 Zerglings on the way. He has so many of these Ravagers that will trade well against these Stalkers. Only 2 Colossi left on the back side of this. Some big Biles trying to zone out these armies, force out some Blinks. But the Colossus are what are going to make or break this engagement. It would be a shame if they got pulled. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Hurricane anchoring this down. Oh my gosh, some great donations coming in here in this engagement, and Ragnarok able to hold it out. GG is called. And we have some great donations here. All I saw was a heart sign donating $10. Thank you so much. 15 more dollars added into our donation pool. We are $75 away from reaching our goal, folks. I'm so thrilled to be able to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for all the contributions here. We are getting so close. And we have our most exciting match left to go. Like, I keep looking at it and I'm just like, I'm a little terrified. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much time is on it, but it's a long one. Before we jump into that, folks, I do want to take another opportunity to talk to you about our charitable organization here in Games for Love. Games for Love is a charitable nonprofit organization whose mission is to ease suffering, save lives, and create sustainable futures for children. And of course, I'm going to show you their website because I want you to know who you are considering. If you want to check this website out for yourself, you can always click gamesforlove.org. It's that link in the chat. You can see that they not only have great volunteers that help push their mission, but they've also got a great ecosystem to provide different programs to reach as many kids as possible. Now, we are going to silence the music here. I'm going to take one more opportunity to play for you their video so you can see a little bit of their own introduction here. So go ahead and check this out.
Welcome to Games for Love. We're easing suffering, saving lives, and creating sustainable futures for children. Our goal is to let kids be kids in spite of their situations and sicknesses. Working with hospitals all over the world. And over the next 5 years, we are on a mission to positively impact the lives of 10 million kids. Best of all, you can join us in this movement by being a part of us. Get involved today by visiting us at gamesforlove.org.
So, great organization to be a part of. Of course, their vision is to reach 10 million children in 5 years. And the way that they can do that is through your donations. So if you click that donate.softgiving.com link, it will take you to this page where you can contribute your own amount as well. We are at $425, folks. Thank you so much for your contribution. It means so much to us, and it means so much to Games for Love. If you would like to kick in a minimum of $5 donation, you can do that right here inside of this link. Give us your display name. You'll have a little bit of information to give, but I want to see you add your name to this list of awesome people. A great opportunity and a great cause. So please do consider checking that out. It's a great way to give back and provide for kids who might not have a sustainable path forward. Games for Love wants to help them with that. So thank you so much. Rushy is the best, Young Car, Bibbs' kids, and then Heart for your contributions in this last game. Of course, that Rushy is best one. I do like that. I'm very, very flattered. I'm just a guy who really likes casting StarCraft. But now the time has come, chat. I've tried to buy as much time as humanly possible because this will be our last game for this stream. Now, I will tell you, it is a doozy. I want to see if we can get there to the end, by the end of this replay. $75. I think we can do it. But again, I can't do it by myself. I need your help. Vitamin. Oh my God. I love you too. Thank you very much. Very, very kind words here. So, if you can, dig deep for this amazing long-form game. I'm going to click it. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, Chad. I'm getting the sweats. It's going to be a TVZ on Golden Wall. Bly versus Euthermal. I am a little terrified here. Again, I've seen the official timer. I'm not going to tell you the official time because that would take a little of the suspense out of everything, right? Oh, it's the 10-minute mark. There's no way he wins. But I can tell you, this is going to go the distance. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Wall. This is our blue Zerg player. Playing for Raise Your Edge Gaming. Give it up for Bly. And spawning in the bottom left, our red Terran. Playing for Team Liquid. Give it up for Euthermal. We can get to that $500. You think Vindicta should play another nuke game live? I would absolutely adore that. I mean, he does need to shotgun that Red Bull. I think that is an interesting scenario here. So, trying to put forth some of those incentives to encourage us to get to that end goal. Not only is it important for the kids, but think about all the fun opportunities that we can find here. I think we can do it. I believe in us. Okay, now, the interesting part here, and this is maybe what scares me the most, is that Bly is opened normally? What? That doesn't make any sense to me. Shotgun his Red Bull, then play a nuke game. I love it. And it comes from your first fan there, Vindicta. I mean, if he's playing in the ESL, I mean, would we make him play his ESL game as nukes? Or is that too much? Maybe that's just too much. We are going to see Bly going right up into roaches. So this is not going to have any major Ling upgrades at this point. It is just going to be a roach timing. But this is going to hit really hard. It's going to be a strong timing. We're going to have to see what happens here. Bly already across the map with slow Lings. I think he does kind of show his hand just a little bit if he shows those slow Lings too quickly. Because he wants those to get damage done. And he is waiting for those. Oh, but Euthermal is not going to take the bait here. He is going to see those and put things together. Oh boy, Vindicta has said he'll do it. Chat, we are $75 away from Vindicta chugging a Red Bull and then playing all nukes live. But we need your help to get it done here. As Bly is going to come on forward with these roaches. Roaches are going to get all the way up in here. They're going to get a lot of damage done. There are no tanks at this point, and it's just Hellions on the way. Meanwhile, back at home, it's pretty much a full wall off. Those Hellions not going to be able to get any work done. There is no third base. I mean, this is a bit of a full scenario here. Vindicta is all about the kids. I absolutely agree. There's $5. Star Killer. Star Killer making it happen. Saying boom, boom. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Star Killer, for kicking in $5 here. We're 70 away. We're 70 away. Man, if Star Killer wasn't here and heard the strategy idea, I would say it would be a Vindicta Star Killer show match. But I feel like if you know what's coming, it's really easy to counter. But maybe that would be the funny part of it too. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. A whole bunch. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of biles here. These Ravagers will get mostly cleaned up. Bly able on the backside of this to get his third base down. But this Liberator is going to get a lot of kills. 7 workers have gone down. So many larvae, or 4 workers have gone down. And 4 larvae as well, but 9 kills on total. Ah! Eee! Ugh! Ah! Not happy. So Euthermal, able to transition here. Looks like both players will be able to transition here. Bly getting his lair tech up. He's putting down that third base. Now here's what I can't remember. I can't remember if Bly is comfortable with Muta play, because of course, like, Golden Wall is just so ubiquitously known for Muta, because you have so much space to fill on the map. We'll have to see if that Spire goes down. But this Liberator has 9 kills and is hungry. Hungry for more. Now, I believe, yeah, those biles will seal the deal there. Oh, it actually cost him a Ravager. So 10 kills before it does get canceled down, or biled down, excuse me. And Euthermal able to get that third base on the way as well. So right now we are not seeing any major kind of transition at this point. Gonna get that 1-1 for his roaches and his queens. And Euthermal's just going to make that transition into bio at this point. Double cranking out those medevacs, getting some tanks, getting that bio. But it's kind of looking like a little bit of a push coming here. Yeah, looks like we are in fact going to get that. Bly has his one path of creep here. Wander down the creep highway. At this point, what does Bly have back at home? What does he have on the units tab? He's got 9 roaches, and that's it. Okay, he's got 12 more. I mean, this is a rather scary army here by Euthermal. There really aren't that many Ravagers as well. Those upgrades are very, very close to being done. That's kind of a scary moment, but Bly getting a great sandwich here on both sides of the army is going to try and target down those tanks. And once the 2 tanks are taken out of the equation, this actually has to be forced back. The Viking is going to get killed, and the upgrades are left to continue upgrading. 1-1 will be able to finish. It's going to be more roaches, just more and more roaches. You see, I was kind of thinking that Bly was not going to play heavy into mutas, at least not at the beginning. Folks, once again, we're $70 away. Vindicta has put up that if we can get to our $500 goal, he will chug a Red Bull and play a nuke game live for us. If you want to see that happen, let's see if we can get that $70 done. We have till the I would say until the end of this game to get that put together. So please do consider donating. I will post that link in the chat for you as this bio just continues to tear through these roaches. I'm a little surprised here. And these roaches are not going to be as effective here the more bio that gets added into the mix. So Euthermal going to scan forward, going to see that he is going to kind of hang around. Only now does he decide, okay, need to go back. Going to take advantage of that. And now Euthermal going to try and pivot, create more opportunities for him. So at this point, when we're starting to approach the 10-minute mark, both players look like they're trying to settle into a decent bit of macro. Now we do see Bly making a transition here. He is grabbing, finally, his spawning pool, researching a metabolic boost. That casual 9-minute metabolic boost zergling speed. Pretty good strong timing there, but also grabbing that Baneling nest as well. So going to find a way to deal with the bio more efficiently. 4th base is done and complete. There is a 5th base on the way as well, but Euthermal going to pick up a good amount of workers. He trades out 8 of those Marines for 8 drones. So at this point, Bly suffering a little bit of extra loss on his end. Spire is incoming. Bly, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna go into that muta play? I can't say that I've seen many games where Bly actually does get into mutas, but the Spire is incoming. We'll have to see. Thanks everyone for who's joining here in this game. You guys are watching the Alpha X Games for Love charity stream. We're $70 away from meeting our charity goal. It's our final game. We'd love it if you could help us reach our goal. Please do consider contributing if you are able. The Euthermal. Every single one of the Marines in that medevac has got to be just like sweating bullets at this point. 8 more workers have gone down though. Yo, a lot of worker kills. Okay. So Euthermal making the most of the situation, but look at the supply. 188 to 188. Bly all of a sudden just comes out of nowhere with a whole bunch of army. But now look at the difference here. 77 to 56 workers, but Euthermal having that 20 plus army lead. And he is split up on the top and bottom side of the map. So Bly has got to find a way to deal with this effectively. I think it's gonna have to require more Banelings. More Banelings! Ooh! Good connection here on the bottom side. Mutas will be hitting the map here. 10 worker kills off of roaches at the Gold Expand. But now Euthermal hitting in so many places all at once. This is kind of getting to be a bit scrappy here. the third base under fire, the fourth base under fire. Fourth base actually taken down. The fifth base should be picked off as well. Now, Bly is going to rotate down to the south side of the map. He will have plenty of bases at his disposal, and he could just start taking the bottom side of the map in its entirety. But I mean, it is going to come at a cost. We take a look at that income graph. Bly is in a good position, but he doesn't have anything to really deal with the forces of Euthermal just yet. So Euthermal playing very patiently here. Oh, look at these mutas. These mutas are going to try and snipe as much as they can here on the top side, but there's plenty of bio left behind. These mutas have to be careful. He doesn't want to over-sacrifice them. We are getting up to Hive Tech at this point. We do see 3-3 on the way as well. So now this puts us in an interesting position here. Euthermal grabs his fourth base. He is going to get that on site. We see Euthermal still maxed out here with a large number of Marauders. Very, very stimmed. Trying to get on top of this third base location. It is so dangerously low. Meanwhile, Roaches attacking the gold base here. Those are going to get pulled away very, very quickly. Euthermal trying to scan. He's like, I want it. I want it so bad. I want to jump on top of it so bad. But he is going to drop on that bottom base as well, and that hatchery is going to fall. Oh my gosh, he is everywhere. Euthermal just getting on top of his Zerg opponent. Now Euthermal's in a bit of a strong spot right now. Bly trying his best to secure on the bottom side of the map, but I mean, he's lost his fourth base, his fifth base, his sixth base, his third is his natural is now under fire. This is tricky business here. Oh, Muta's still getting a lot of value. We're getting +2 flyer attack on the way as well. We're seeing more barracks be pumped out here. He's just going to continue dumping down on this bio play. Now the interesting part here is the Marine count is actually a little low as it sits right now. Oh, he actually loads all of those Marines into a medevac, and that medevac immediately gets sniped off. So that's half of the Marine count just picked away at. Bly is going to get really creative here. He is going to do this nice surround. Bailey's coming from all angles. He's going to get on top of all of these units, and Euthermal. A little bit of sloppy positioning there. Bly with a great surround. Now these mutas are not going to be able to engage very well against Thors and Marines, so he's going to have to back those off, but we do see more units on the ground here for Bly. Going to position again, once again, just rotating around. We're trading out. We do see adrenal glands being researched as well. He's been getting so much value for these mutas. And are we seeing this worker going over to build another base? What? I love it. I absolutely love it. Technically building on Euthermal's side of the map. And now it's going to be Bly trying to double dip at the same time here. Oh, bit of a pause. We are set and good to go once again. This is a replay. And his base is under fire. He's going to be able to come forward with the Ling, Bane, and Muta, but not able to get on top of this enough here. And that is going to be another base that gets picked off. How many hatcheries have fallen so far? 4 in total. But he is going to force a liftoff on this base on the top side. These mutas just not able to get on top of the Thors. The Thor is just positioned just slightly out of reach, so that Bly is going to have to lose a significant amount of his forces if he wants to grab it, and it's just not worth it. And he's going to lose yet another hatchery. Oh, that is tough. That is tough to play from. But there has just been no answer to this army just yet. The macro hatch is going under fire. The hive is under fire. What do we have here? We do have Roach, Bane, Ling, Ravager. And Muta's on the backside here, but so many Marines left on the backside as well. One Ravager vial short. 16 siege tank kills. I mean, Euthermal continuing to march across the map. Now, Bly is being rather efficient on his own merit, because he does still have a decent army size. But now I think it's Euthermal who has overstayed his welcome just a little bit. Those Biles going to be able to connect, and we are going to see this army slowly getting pushed back. Now, Neo Steel frame being researched, building armor, high-sec tracking being researched. The hive just went down, but not before the Ultra Cavern gets put onto the map. Look at Bly. Look at Bly just rotating around the map, exploiting the positioning of this Terran player. Again, who has killed 6 hatcheries and a hive. Oh, +3 Carapace not allowed to finish. The Ultralisk Cavern is going to be put into place, but it should be almost immediately under fire at this point. Now, we do have a spawning pool being built as well, this 3rd base location. But what are we looking at here? I mean, this is still kind of like hard to see. I mean, Bly, you're just kind of like down and out a little bit, my dude. I mean, this tank positioning is so brutal. 10 workers have gone down. What is? I mean, what's our situation looking like here? Somehow, Bly still has the income advantage. Excuse me. That can't be right. Look at that. I mean, it's not even for a tiny bit of time. It's like consistent amounts of mining. Now, it is coming largely off of those Mutalisk being able to get so much damage done. But this is a very good wraparound that gets on top of those important tech units. So the Thor's going to go down, or one of the Thor's going to go down. A couple of more of the tanks. There's another base. 8 hatcheries. And yet somehow Bly still has 1, 2, 3, and a 4th on the way. What are we watching? What is happening? Oh, I mean, this Thor is actually so dangerous. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I just would love to see him jump on top of that. But look at the Ultras getting added into the mix. All right, these are actually getting kind of chased down here. He knows with those Marines getting picked up into the medevac, they're not going to be on the ground to help defend. So 1 tank remains. What does Bly decide to do? Bly just decides to keep going forward. Yo, thanks so much, Iba Kreez Kev, for the 50 elixir. Do appreciate that a lot. All right, we do have a big engagement here. Now, chitinous plating was allowed to finish. Yeah, chitinous plating is done. In fact, all of those tech buildings are still available here. What are these mutas doing? Mutas, get on top of that Thor! Oh, so dangerously low. And now we are going to see these mutas finally, no, not finally clean it up. This will finally clean everything up. Good muta connections, or Baneling connections with the Marines. Now that should get picked off. All right, so all in all, Where are we even at on the list here? Oh my gosh. It's almost a 10,000 mineral contrast here. But look at this. Bly is going to pick off all of these medevacs. They're at full energy. Are you... What? What is happening right now? We're in the 23-minute mark. Somehow, Euthermal has killed 10 bases, 60 drones, almost 300 Zerglings, and Bly has a worker lead. What? We were told this game was bonkers. This is ridiculous. This is a wild game here. Folks, if this isn't the kind of game that makes you want to kick in $5 for the kids, I don't know what to give you. Please do consider donating. The link is in the chat. Bang, bang, bang. Would love to be able to see our goal reached here. 430, we've done such a great job. Can we push it a little further? I think we can. Please do consider it for the kids. All right, where are we at tech-wise? I mean, okay, so we do have a macro hatch happening here. Somehow we're actually starting to run out of bases. The gold base hasn't even been taken yet. Huh. Now, what does Thermi know? What does Euthermal know? He has no idea about this base at this point. He actually doesn't even have any idea about that base, although there is nothing currently mining at it. Bly does have a better scouting information. Bly has 3,000 APM. Excuse me. Excuse me, Bly. That is so much. You're going to hurt your wrists doing that much. All right. We are approaching the 25-minute mark. Both players kind of licking their wounds. These mutas getting as much value as they possibly can. The cost-benefit analysis of these mutas is so high. They continue to provide harassment. They're going to continue to deal more and more damage. Two of those depots dangerously low. There are no workers in the near vicinity. So this is going to burn down. We're going to watch it. How about this one? Oh boy, he's scouted this base. And he's got to be going, wait a minute. When did you get this base? He's going to grab almost every single drone. One drone gets out. This is the drone that will tell the story of the genocide of the drones. All right, so Spire going down once again. We see these Ultras trying to get around here. Baneland's going to make some great connections. The Muta is now going to swoop on in, try and clean off these medevacs. The medevac's going to try and get back to their main base. One is not going to make it. Second one will. Now Euthermal just going to rotate around the map once again. He's just going to try and clean up as much of a Bly as humanly possible. I mean, he's already cleaned up this base. What is Bly working off of? He's on 1, 2. Oh, I could get to this one. I mean, there's a fair amount of minerals here. But again, I mean, there's still a gold base here, completely available for Bly. Good drop. Going to come into what I will now call the main base, since that's where the hive is going to be located. Infestation pit is there. Ultralisk cavern is going to start researching the ultra speed. We got a spire. We got the spawning pool. I'm just going to call this the main at this point. This is, man, it's 2020, chap. This main is not cutting it anymore. Now it's third main. We're 27 minutes into this game, and I don't feel like any one player has a distinct advantage. Both players' army counts are almost dead even. But we are going to see this wraparound come on in. Those are actually a lot of damaged Ultras here. That Thor gonna get a lot of damage done, but Euthermal is gonna lose a lot of his workers here. But honestly, the same can be said about Bly. Bly loses a base. He's gonna have all of those workers transfer. It's mostly Muta and Baneling on the back side of this. It's gonna be yet another dead hatchery, but look at this. Bly is able to clear off more of these bases. These players are just gonna rotate around once again. What a nuts game. Again, chat, this is the kind of high quality content you expect when you come to trovo.live/alphaxsc2. All those mutas gonna go after these buildings. I love it. I love it. So good. 28 minutes in. Who knows where this is gonna take us? But right now we have Mutalisk chasing down these command centers. And there is nothing to stop them. All of the army of Euthermal out across the map at this point. And I think he's gonna do it. I mean, he's gonna pick off a second command center with these Mutalisk. But now finally the Marines show up with the Marauders. Obviously Marauders not gonna get a whole lot done. But they will finally push off this army. And Bly is gonna try and take this base once again. This is so goofy. Another great position here by both of our players. Euthermal gonna try and clean up the creep here, free up his base on the bottom. But now we see Bly starting to get out to that gold, and that is going to be essential here. Euthermal, look at his bank. He's got nothing. He's got 32 workers. His gold is already taken. This base is rather low. This base is gone. And since it is a planetary, this cannot move. This is effectively just a glorified turret. And Bly is going to do him a favor and try and clean it off the map. We have just crossed into the 30-minute mark. Folks, $70 left. It's for the kids. Can we do it? I have no idea where this is going. I also want to know, we're 30 minutes in. What do you think? Who's ahead? Who's actually ahead in this game? I want to know what you think. Don't just trust me. I'm just a caster. I'm biased. I want the Zerg player to win. Who do you think is ahead at this point? At the same time, click that link. Let's get $70 back in the bank. What a nuts game happening here. Both of these players, again, just rotating around the map, trying to take as many mining opportunities as possible. Euthermal does have 2 bases worth of mining. Bly, kind of in the same boat. He's actually operating off of 3, so somehow in a good position. Oh, but this is a really, really crummy spot for Bly. He does get caught at his gold base, but yet another base is going to be under fire here. More than anything, I think this is just going to help take care of production. He's going to try and get on top of all of these barracks. He is going to be able to clean up this army. It does cost him a lot of his Ultralisk, though. Now we do see Mutas swooping on in. 4 more Ultras on the way. These Mutas are going to try and clean everything up, and they absolutely will with the help of those Zerglings. It does cost 10 workers. But once again, we see more rotating happening. This base dangerously low. Infestors hitting the map. Do we have Neural Parasite or anything else? No, not at this point. So this base will go down. No pathogen glands, so we don't have extra energy. Although it might just be the 1. Oh wait, no, that's 2. Hard to know exactly what the situation is here. But yet another base being put onto the map. Are we gonna mine every single mineral? I mean, I think it's got to be close. It's absolutely got to be close. All right, what do we have for production? Production is just really, really slow. Bly has a bit of a bank, so as long as he can get larva, he will be able to pump out whatever units he would like. He can add on to that meta count. He can add on to his Ultralisk count. The mines are going to make it very, very difficult, though. He is just going to push on forward here. It's a big choke on that ramp. The Banelings are able to crash on forward, and he clears up this army. You've got to be kidding me. A big fungal growth as well. It's going to slow down all of those medevacs. They burn their afterburners, and suddenly we see Euthermal's army get caught for the first time. Bly is making the most of this, though. Oh my gosh. Just refusing to go away. 10 more workers have gone down. How many workers have been killed? 114 to 83. There have been 35 muta kills. Oh, geez, this is getting disgusting. I don't know where this command center is going. I think it was going to go there. And then it was like, wait, that's not working. Okay, Ultra's going down to the planetary fortress. This is not going to be very effective. He is going to position this, though. Getting, oh, look at all of that splash damage. That actually will get this done. He will pick this off, but they do have to run now. Mine's going to try and get as many shots off as possible, but one of those will fall. That mine is a hero. There's a command center here, ready to mine 125 minerals. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. +3 on the way. More command centers sort of in production. Okay, so that command center gets picked up. We're at the 35-minute mark, folks. And again, neither player can really get a foothold. I mean, I feel like... Oh, this is going to be dirty. 6 workers just gone. Bye-bye. Erased from the world. It's Broodlords and Infestors. Bly bringing back Broodlord Infestor, baby. I mean, we always knew it was going to come down to the free units. It's where Zerg does best. Now, Bly is trying everything he can to possibly keep everything protected on this top side. It is going to come at the cost of a lot of these Ultralisks, but I think that Bly is in a position where he can just transition out of this. Some great fungals get on top of all of these Banelings and these medevacs. And we're starting to see this army just make a big push across the map. There are so few places to mine right now. I mean, this is one big location. This is another big location. But this one's drying up. This one's okay. This is another good location. So both players really have access to about 3. This gold base is still available as well. Oh, no. Oh, I know. Okay. Now we're in a better spot. Okay. So that does get cleaned up. Good call. No, that's just going to be a dead base. There's not a whole lot that Euthermal can do about that. Euthermal down to army 90 supply total. He's got 69 army. The 22 workers, that's the really scary part. Because, I mean, we're looking at workers right there. That's about it. So yet another hatchery does get picked off. This continues to be a difficult situation for our Terran player, but he is making the most of it, killing off so many of these valuable units. Now there are plenty of fungals here. Ooh, a big whiff on that. That's actually really, really good. The Broodlords have arrived. The production for Euthermal is just absolutely inexistent here. He is getting a Viking. What are we at for Viking count? Just 2? Oh, 2? We'll be able to pick off this Broodlord, though. He kills the gas. Outstanding stuff. This Bioforce is a bit of a problem still. But Euthermal can completely focus on it here. He does have an orbital command out on the top left corner. So, once again, another situation. Continuing to rotate. 38 minutes. Bly is in a great position, though. I mean, let's look at the units lost tab. He's actually brought that back. He's only down 5,000. I mean, this is amazing. Does this mean I got to take video of me doing it? I mean, we can get you on. We could get you on the Discord cam. We can do it. But we need $70. Chat. Who knows how much longer this game's gonna go? $70. Can we do it? Vindicta. Gonna chug that Red Bull. But we want him to play another nuke game live. Oh, he's got EPT right now. Oh, the dream. I don't know, Vindicta. Maybe we need you to commit to the EPT memes. I mean, I'm not saying it's like your job or anything to win money, but I guess. Okay, so effectively Bly is in a better position here. Every medevac that gets killed off is worth so much value here. I mean, look at how little gas Euthermal is mining right now. He does have access to a lot of gas here in the top left corner. And actually, he's got a lot of gas at this as well. So he's got some opportunities, but not able to make this work. At least at this point. How much gas is here? 2,000 gas left there. There's so much gas left on the map. That's got a ton of gas. Oh my gosh. But I guess that doesn't surprise me. I don't know why it does. I mean, his army has been mostly Marines. I suppose that does kind of make sense. But there is this large swath of gold at this point. I don't know that Euthermal is ever going to be able to get access to it just because of this gorgeous creep spread. But he is trying to get around the map using those scans to get as much of it cleared as humanly possible. His Broodlord army is slow. And the mines do continue to cause problems. 40 minutes. What a game. Both players actually kind of clawing this back just a little bit. So this becomes a bit of an interesting dance here. Again, Bly has been in the lead here for a while, but look at the economic advantage now. Does lean a little bit in Euthermal's favor. He's able to kind of steal this back for a brief amount of time, but the armies are able to trade out effectively here. Euthermal making the most of these bio balls, so he is going to have to pull workers. Now we just see more of this rotating here. This just becomes more and more difficult for Euthermal to try and play from. As more of these infestors hit the field, it does become a bit of an interesting situation here. Bailey's going to try and get on top. Ah, that's so dangerously low. This is where Euthermal can shine because he just is able to move so quickly around the map. Now the Corruptors will be able to put an end to that. He is going to overcommit here, I think just a little bit. $10 contribution. Inu. Oh, Inu. Thank you so much. She says, my God. Oh, Inu, thank you so much for the $10 contribution. We're 60 away. We're 60 away from our goal, chat. $500 is our donation goal. This has been an insane game. We're at the 43-minute mark effectively. And right now, again, neither player seems to have a clear advantage. I mean, Bly looking really, really good here. But this bio is so good. Oh, those pickups. Oh, that's so much army loss. Now, it still is in Euthermal's favor. Mostly just because Bly is able to trade so inefficiently. But I mean, oh my gosh, look at this. This is scary. Oh, that's scary to me. It added the hour marker, chat. Oh, God. Oh. All right, we got another hatchery going down here. What mining is happening? Okay, this is gone. This is gone. He is going to build on the backside of this gold mineral line. Now, Euthermal is going to be able to see that, so eventually he will be able to rotate onto that. So he is getting another hatchery right here as well. Unbelievable. What plays are happening here? Now, on the backside of this for Euthermal, his base is now finally under fire. His production is in a bit of a spot where I don't know if it can afford to lose. I mean, these armies still continuing to rotate. This base has just been left untouched for so long. Now the Vikings are going to be able to engage on top of these Broodlords. Where are the Corruptors? The Corruptors are a bit out of position, so these Vikings will be able to deal some good damage onto the Broodlords. We see some great connects here. Those Vikings are going to go down. This Bioforce, once again, being able to move out and rotate, will be able to get on top of this gold base. That will effectively limit Bly to 1.5 bases worth of mining. Oh, this should go down, right? Okay, it's going to come at the cost of his army, though. He is trying to steal back that economic advantage. It's about all he's got at this point. We're at the 45-minute mark. Somebody help. I don't even think that there's any more StarCraft 2 music to play. We've cycled through so much of it. I love it. Oh, this is such a great game. Bly is in a good position. He continues to hold on to that army size, but Euthermal is not out of it. He does still have okay production at this point. He's getting more of those medevacs back up, more bio out onto the map. Folks, $60. We are so close to our goal. How cool would it be to see this close out? It's going to be another Zergling run by here on the top left. This is really some of the last mining available is these two bases. Oh my goodness. This is wild. But look at that army count. It's almost double here for Bly. And Bly's army is just very, very sophisticated and in a great spot. How many infestors does he have? He has 7. I don't know. I mean, Bly is just like one sick fungal away from cleaning this game up. Is it going to come right here? I mean, this bio is pushing forward. These changelings do a nice job of zoning. This is a scary situation. Oh, they're just going to try and pee that building down, but it is going to float away. Oh. What an amazing game here. We're approaching the 47-minute mark. Euthermal trying to make the most of this, but keeping those high dollar value units protected on the map. We've got some mines dropping into the gold. Gonna attack those Zerglings, honestly. But they are gonna get cleaned up. This base should go down. It is gonna float away. But yeah, now those Corruptors will just be able to get on top of it. Another bio ball getting on top of a hatchery here. How many hatcheries have been killed? 21! 21 hatcheries! 5 planetary fortresses. 3 orbital commands. 23 more workers have gone down. That takes Euthermal down below 20. He's at 18. The army value is double here for Bly. Euthermal running on fumes. This is getting tight here. I mean, this is about all he has left at this point. Bly making this such a scrappy game. Both of these players playing like crazy. But I don't think Euthermal's got anything left in the tank here. With this going down, GG is called, and Bly, with the 48-minute victory, closes out that game. Wow. What a game. What a game. Absolutely. Oh. Such a tough place to play from. Outstanding work. GG. And wow. That is going to be the end of our cast here. You just got about 5 minutes left before we're going to be signing off, and I would love to see us break in to that goal of $500. We've raised $440, which is outstanding. I'm so excited. That is great money going to our charity organization, Games for Love. Their mission to provide for kids will be so much so much better accomplished by your efforts. So of course, they're a 501c3 dedicated to easing suffering, saving lives, and creating sustainable futures for children. They've done so much work, and they look to do so much more, reaching 10 million children in 5 years. So we do appreciate all of the efforts that you have done. Whew. But this has been a very, very fun event here. I've really enjoyed casting all of these games. Once again, folks, for the last time, we'll go ahead and take a look at these links. Do consider checking out Games for Love. They are great people. If we walk away with $440 raised, I am super excited. You guys are outstanding. I do want to take an opportunity and showcase some of our top donors here. Dust, thank you so much for the $100 contribution. We actually should go the other way. Rushy is the best. Of course he is. Papega, $5. MWS, Malding Boy, certainly not Vitamin. Bibs Kids, Bibs, Young Car, all with $5 donations. Thank you so much. SW Pro, Whippy, Heart, and the Kyojin at $10. Slayer at $13. Thank you so much. Wardy for the $15. $20 coming in. 5-star rookie and Texture Ace. $30 for Sugar Daddy. Lamask at $47. Ninja Warrior at $50. Oh Whoa at another $50. And Dust, our top donor, at $100. Folks, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in, participating. And that is going to be it for me. I am exhausted. It's another 8-hour day for me. But it's all in the name of charity and StarCraft 2 goodness. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are. We look forward to seeing you again in future Alpha X events. My name is Rushy. You can catch me at twitter.com/RushySC. Of course, I stream as well on various mediums, and you can find all of those on Twitter. But for now, thank you so much for watching, folks. I'm going to go crawl into a corner and hibernate until my next stream. Look forward to seeing you again in another Alpha X production. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care.